I used to absolutely hate giving presentations in class. Like, I'll never forget the time where I was in 9th grade. I was a freshman in high school, 14 years old, and I had to give a presentation in my English class. And back then I was the most insecure, awkward, invisible Asian kid. And all I can remember from the night before was having so much anxiety and nerves that I couldn't sleep. So the day of the presentation comes and I wanted to get it over with as soon as possible. And the worst thing about that class was that my crush was sitting to my left. Like, to be honest, it probably wouldn't have been that bad if she wasn't there. So I got up in front of the class, right, and I was super tense, like I was tensing up my entire body to try to prevent myself from shaking. And at the same time, I was also trying to memorize what I was supposed to say. And you guys know how when you're nervous, your eyes get watery, you start burning up, you're like a deer in headlights, and you're trying to avoid eye contact as much as possible. And the very first sentence, the very first word, I ended up stuttering and I choked. And I ended up making this weird noise that sounded like a combination of a frog and a duck. And it was one of those situations where nobody really said anything, but you can kind of tell that everybody heard it. And then I took a quick glance to my right and I saw my crush in my peripheral vision. And I'll never forget the look on her face. She had this expression where, you know how you can tell when someone's nervous or anxious, you start getting uncomfortable for them. And you're kind of like hoping that they can get through it. Like, that was the look on her face, and I'll never forget it. And I think that was the most nervous or insecure I ever been. Like, bro, in that moment, I could have gotten hit by a meteor and I would have been cool. And you can kind of figure how the rest of my presentation went. But regardless of how embarrassing or negative of an experience that was, that's a memory that I always try to hold on to. Because ever since that experience, I promised to never let any moment make me feel that way ever again. Because when I got home from school, more than being embarrassed, I was more angry than anything. And I was like, yeah, I'm never gonna let that happen again. So the next presentation I had, which was about 2 to 3 months later, I got up in front of the class, and instead of trying to memorize what I had to say, turning into a deer in headlights, I took a moment to slow down and I looked at everyone and I said, damn, why you guys look so serious? Relax. Anyways, what am I supposed to be talking about? And then a few people laughed, but just like that, just by me saying that, by taking the seriousness and formality from the situation, I immediately controlled the energy and complexion of the room instead of letting the room control me. Just by saying that, just by humanizing the interaction, I instantly became more confident. And for whatever reason, it felt like every single nerve or anxiety that I was feeling just lifted off my shoulders. Like, it just felt like my mind was completely clear and I was fully confident. It was such a foreign feeling, but I liked it. Like, I never flowed giving a presentation like that before to where I was enjoying it. And I almost didn't want it to end. It was fun. And I thought to myself, if I can apply that to every situation, I'll never feel insecure or nervous ever again. Like, genuinely, it feels like you're moving with this unstoppable energy when you have this mindset. Whether you're giving a presentation, talking to a girl, going on a date, you have an interview, you're recording a YouTube video, whatever it is, right? By having this energy that fully allows you to let go and stop taking things so serious, it allows you to fully be confident and be comfortable in your own skin. And when you're able to apply this mindset, you're going to realize that oftentimes a lot of things that you're nervous about only exist in your own head because of your perspective to the situation. Because if you really think about it, most of the things that you're nervous or anxious about really aren't that serious. There's actually very few extremities in life that do require that degree of seriousness. But when it comes to feeling insecure or having a lack of confidence, that's most likely not the case. Having the ability to detach yourself from the result allows you to fully be yourself. For example, going up to a girl is much less nerve-wracking if you detach yourself from the result. And this is why when you tend to not care, that tends to yield the best results. If you think to yourself that I have to get her number, I have to get her to like me, I have to get her to go on a date with me, you're just making yourself more nervous and anxious and less confident. As opposed to having the mindset where I'm just going to conversate and let whatever happen happen. If I get her number, that's good. If I don't, it is what it is. Just keep it pushing. Even let's say recording YouTube videos, right? If I go in thinking that this video has to hit a certain amount of views, or if no one watches it, this is going to be an L, I'm going to be embarrassed, that energy is going to translate in the recording. And it's most likely not going to serve me well, and you're going to feel that as the viewer. Whereas if I just said, I'm just going to be myself, I'm going to try to have fun with it, I'm going to try to give value, and if it does well, that's great, and if it doesn't, on to the next. And having this mindset allows me to be way more confident, otherwise I'd be like a deer in the headlights all over again. And also, having the ability to be detached from the result also allows you to laugh at yourself. And being able to laugh at yourself makes you a lot more comfortable in your own skin, which makes you more confident. Like, genuinely, being able to laugh at yourself and make fun of yourself makes you a lot more confident as a person. Which brings me to my next point, which is being able to find reasons to smile. It's kind of a moot point, but your body language does really affect the way you feel. If you're slouched over or you got your hood on or you're upset and you're frowning, this is only going to spiral into negativity and insecurity. The next time you're in a social situation, try to open up your posture, and this is something that I've tried to be really conscious of as I've gotten older. Because people subconsciously read other people's body language. Whatever room you're in, especially as a guy, you always want to have your chest out and stand up straight and smile. Like, trust me, you will feel the difference. Having an open posture, having your head up, having a nice smile will make you more confident. Really try to make a conscious effort to never put your head down or look away in any social situation. Like, never diminish your presence because you're making yourself more insecure. And also try to slow down, right? Whether it's your thoughts, your actions, the way you speak. Because when you slow down, you're able to process your thoughts and breathe. The reason why I choked up during my presentation was because my thoughts, or what I had to do, was racing through my mind. Like, my entire body was tensed up and I forgot to breathe, which was why I ended up stuttering. And then I proceeded to spiral in my own insecurity. Just try to slow everything down and breathe, and you're going to move with much more confidence and realize how much you are sabotaging yourself by rushing. And when I say try to find a reason to smile, it's basically a fancy way of saying look at the positives. Like, just changing your perspective from I have to I get to. I don't have to go talk to that girl, I get to go talk to that girl. I don't have to do this interview, I get to do this interview. And just having that gratitude and that positive energy will make you a lot more confident. And keep in mind, everything that I'm saying are things you can do to immediately boost your confidence related to your mindset. But overall confidence comes from repetition and knowing your capabilities. For example, your level of confidence going into an exam or test is based on what you know, based on how much you put into studying. You're the most confident going into a test when you know the material, when you know all the topics. And you're the most nervous or anxious when you know you've been half-assing it, when you know that you really haven't been studying. And the same thing applies to anything in life, whether it's going on dates with girls, having interviews, making YouTube videos, sports, whatever it is, right? Repetition and knowing your capabilities is what's going to make you confident. For example, Steph Curry is confident shooting threes because he's done it millions of times, and he basically holds every single record for three-pointers. Or LeBron James is confident going to the rim because he knows he's going to finish every single time. Pause. Like, you can never be as confident doing something the very first time compared to, let's say, the 50th time. So make sure you do what's difficult over and over again. Like, make it a part of your lifestyle to push yourself outside your comfort zone. That way, that confidence transfers to anything you do. When you have accomplishments and competence, this is naturally going to breed confidence. I mean, if you're a guy, right, which 95% of you guys are, the easiest way to obtaining true confidence is by doing combat sports. Because as guys, right, we subconsciously size each other up in every social interaction. So when you're someone that's physically capable, you walk around a lot less insecure. And then there's a certain dominant energy that's going to radiate off you. It's why people respect fighters. It's why fighters command a certain level of respect from everyone. It's because there's something primal about it. You can work out and go to the gym and get super jacked as well, but a guy that knows how to fight is probably more confident than a guy that's super jacked. Although being jacked will probably help you a lot more with girls. Although I'm kind of saying the obvious though. I find it funny when you watch these videos on how to be confident, and then they say something like work out or go to the gym. It's like, wow, really? Working out and being in shape will make you more confident than if you were fat? Like, wow, big surprise, who would have known? But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is that a little bit of autism goes a long way with confidence. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for listening. I love you. I appreciate you. With that said, make sure you stay true, and I'll talk to you real soon. Peace.